Alright, greetings and salutations. My name is Comicfire, and welcome back to more Drakengard 3. In the last episode, we finished up Branch B, and on this episode, we're going on to Branch C. Branch C is when the game story begins to become more coherent. A lot of questions start to become answered. Well, let me rephrase that. Not coherent. Questions get answered. Many more questions are raised, but it's not like branches A and B that answered and solved essentially nothing.
Divergence. Branch C. April the 13th, 1000 AD. I've observed an extremely worrisome branch. When the singularity known as 2 captured the dragon Mikhail, I detected her imposing some kind of magical influence upon him. Until now, only 0 could enact such influence. This is the first known exception, and as such increases the likelihood of an unforeseen accident occurring. This matter must be prioritized for careful observation. M4110, E0020, DM. Begin recording.
I'm not sure if I like 2 so much because the game seems to put a very high emphasis on her. Like, I don't know. I like 2, and I love that she seems to have a huge influence on later branches, but I'm starting to wonder if that's why I like her so much.
It was so hot earlier.
In my hair, in my cracks, lots of sand in my cracks.
Dude, sand in the cracks is the worst thing.
How about I bury you in your precious sand, huh?
Have you ever go to like a beach? I've only ever really noticed this when I was young. You ever go to like a beach, you're wearing swim trunks, and just like you get sand in there and you get scabs, and unfortunately, it's a great way to start an episode comic. I don't know. I don't really like the beach as a result.
Yeah?
Just anything involving sand.
Even at low temperatures. Please be mindful
not cool.
of your health at all times.
Thanks for the tip.
Anakin had it right in episode 2.
My head hurts.
Lady Zero, those are classic dehydration symptoms. You need water right away.
But it's not hot out. That's a wicked cool thing about deserts, no pun intended after I say this. Just, they're steaming hot during the day and then icy cold at night. Like, make up your... It's like the amphibian of the, terrain fandom. That's not at all what it's called. Like, if you're gonna be one of the hottest, most unforgiving environments in the world, at least stick to it. Come on, deserts. Get with it. If a desert could talk, what do you think it would say? Well, really, if anything that can't talk could talk, what would they say? Like, what would your PS3 say? Would it judge your taste in games? It's like that episode of SpongeBob where Mr. Krabs could talk to money. Do you think your PS3 wants to play certain varieties of games? Like, let's say you're like an avid sports fan, but it wants to be an RPG thing. Or you're an avid RPG thing, but it really just wants to play real-time strategy games. Like, what if what you want for your system isn't what your system wants for itself? Or some shit like that. Now, I hope you enjoyed that, Scalding Desert Sun gimmick, because it's back and worse.
The hell is that?
And for some reason, there's just a giant cold orb.
Why am I so cold right now?
I feel it's a hostile magic attack.
Does that make
One
sense?
that saps your bodily energy.
Now, unlike
We were done
when
with
it was
crap like
hot,
this.
Let's use the
now
enemy's
it's super cold, so we have to
fires
stand
keep
near
warm as we
torches.
move.
And I don't feel like the torches are anywhere near as plentiful as shade is.
First it's hot as hell, and now it's cold as balls.
Perhaps a little game of bury the sandworm would warm you up.
You gotta come up with sexier terms for it, man.
Actor can heat your insides to the boiling point.
I think your brain is boiling, old man.
That's another thing. Like, just anything involving the vagina as the insides. It's like, yeah, let me into those insides. Your insides feel so great. It's like, that's not sexy. It's not sexy at all. Or that it doesn't necessarily just have to be the vagina. You're into butt stuff.
Aren't you cold?
I am, my lady. Cold and physically exhausted.
Then why do you look so happy?
I surmise that spirits have taken control of these undead soldiers.
Is that
There
why
must
he's
be
happy?
necromancers nearby.
This gets more annoying by the minute.
No lie, because he's a freak who likes having his junk.
Sorry, I didn't quite get that.
Finish your speech, I'm dying!
True desires from them. Such a devious game.
Yeah, because they totally didn't realize. Anyway, it's literally the exact same thing as the heat, just it's cold now.
You sorcerers are the source of our colds.
Then let's go tear him a new one.
Unfortunately, we have to deal with the undead again, and you know how much I love dealing with them. I mean, like, I get it, like, it's something for the combat bracers to take on, but... when late game DPS and frickin' crowd control becomes the name of the game, having to take on vast swaths of certain enemies one by one slows it down, and I do not like that. Fortunately, in toner mode rips him a new one, but what doesn't in toner road? What doesn't in toner road rip new ones? I feel like I could have worked that better. In toner mode is built to rip things new ones, and then proceed to use them. I think they have very punchy sound effects. Very ASMR, very soothing. See, with a big open area like this, it would have been really cool
This cold spell?
to give us the ability to... I don't want to say ride Mikhail whenever, like in any stage, but in stages like this, like, then half the challenge, quote-unquote.
I'm getting
The gimmick
sick
of this level would be completely ruined if we could just ride Mikhail around. Though they could balance it by saying, here, you take twice as much damage because it's super cold in the sky. Now at this point I was following... Well, I'm always following the guide so I can get treasure chests on my first thing, but in this big area, the guy just... Or girl, I don't even know what their... I don't know what their gender is. Posts pictures of where the general area of the chest is. Sometimes it's a little hard to decipher. Even though it shows you the exact position, just when you're trying to determine that exact position while also trying to record without slowing down the gameplay to a crawl. A little difficult. And I discovered here that maybe using the aerial attack of this set of combat bracers isn't a bad way to get around. Unfortunately, it kind of cuts off midway through, but it's still faster than most options you have.
You've been injured. Just sit still, okay?
God damn it!
Forced to fight even after death. Such a horrid fate.
Really? I think you'd be into that sort of thing. Think about it.
Darkness is our
Zero
ally,
could
man.
keep kicking,
We know the lay of
punching,
this
and
land.
slicing you even after you die.
Even after I die?
I'm not gonna lose! I'm not gonna lose! I'm not gonna lose!
It's true, you're not going to lose, because I'm not going to bother with you, because it's just not worth the effort at this point. Branch C introduces another difficulty jump where things are going to start hitting harder. In toner mode becomes even less useful. Well, it's not that in toner mode becomes less useful. It's just that its use changes. You're no longer using it for quick DPS. The sole reason to use in toner mode at this point in the game is for the invincibility to save yourself in a pinch or to blow spirits out of undead, or any other enemy. Since when spirits are in something, they don't suffer knockback. Multi-track drifting.
Here they are, the root of all this evil.
The root of all this evil? Seriously, Z, who talks like that?
Shut up and fight.
God, I love this spear. Spears are so cool. They're just always so wonderful in Yoko Taro games. Though I can't speak for Drakengard 1, since I still have not beaten it. Nor have I played much more than the first, 2 hours. 2 hours might even be pushing it. I played it once in 2014, immediately after my first surgery. The second we got back home, I just loaded up Drakengard and played the first hour or so. The first mission / chapter, whatever you want to call it. Beat it, and put it down because I was expecting a game more like Nier, and I did not get Nier. Then I proceeded to love Drakengard 3, and though it seems to be a smoother experience than Drakengard 1. It's just one of those things where I don't feel like I'll be able to easily go back. I've managed to keep the plot rather intact for myself beyond ending E, since it's widely known to anyone who's played Nier that it takes place after ending E in Drakengard 3 and Drakengard 1. So beyond the big spoil twist thing, I don't know what endings A through D have for me.
How many times do we have to go through this?
And I don't know if I ever will.
And over again. I'm sick of it.
My PS2 backlog is getting hefty enough as it is.
It's her! Zero's here!
It's filled with games I play for 1 hour and then don't touch for another while. Like Xenosaga Episode
Really?
1.
I'm surprised you feel anything through that thick head of yours.
Trivia time!
Let anything happen to Lady
Ice
Sue.
baths actually warm you up.
Shut up, Scent.
Why don't we retreat for a bit so we can recover?
I'm not sure. We can.
Oh, it does seem this area is enclosed by magical power.
That must be what's holding in the cold.
I'll kill every last sorcerer around here.
Or some ogres. Whatever.
It's alright. This won't take long. Hurry up and die. I'm in a rush here. You sons of bitches just don't know when to quit. Cold, the heat, the sand. It's all your fucking fault.
Well, the
I don't
sand
think
is
they're
more, yeah.
responsible for the sand, actually.
This particular sand is magic sand. It's like that kinetic sand you see in VAT 19. Or no, kinetic sand's been a thing for around, an actual thing. I think it's wicked cool.
Had enough of you jackasses and your stupid magic circles. Go ahead and run.
No, it's one of those
You're
things
all
I
gonna die
would have
either
loved
way.
to ask for as a kid for Christmas and then never end up getting. Because there was a lot of stuff like that. But it's for the best, because when I grew up and looked at them later, I realized that they were all stupid products that I was better off not having. There's a lot of them. I can't even remember them all. It's like those things you'd see on TV. It's like, Floam or whatever. That's why I got into video games. I don't want to say it's cheaper, it's just, I don't know. Harder to run to bootleg video games. Regardless of when you see things like on Fury of Wind covering all those bootleg games. Or bootleg stuff at Twitter. You ever just have a game where you buy it and it wasn't what you were, especially when you were younger. This is more of a younger feeling, I would imagine. You buy a game and it just wasn't what you were expecting. Or you see it and you're like, well, it's mostly because you never see it advertised and suddenly it just appears in a store. You're like, what the hell is this? And the one major time I realized that feeling and is stuck. Lucky us. The one major feeling I got with that was there was this really weird corner of town that I never went to. And like it was like some backwoods stuff. Like that GameStop isn't even there anymore, and half the stuff that was there isn't there anymore.
Hey, we're all good.
It's like one of those like dead end corners of a dead end corner. You know what I mean? And the game I saw there was Super Dragon Ball Z. Here, I'm gonna save this for later.
What's wrong? What the hell is this?
Oh. I mean, we've got our baby back, but it's not like ribs. You don't want your baby back. And we get a gold base and cereal, 29,000 G, and Moonfire level 1. No heroic music, because this is not a heroic event. Back to that story, like I never saw any commercials for Super Dragon Ball Z, and it was just in this really sketchy GameStop, or it might have been in EB Games back when those still were here in the US. And I looked at it, and, you know, I didn't get it, because getting games is a really rare occasion back then, but I'd love to look there and, like, think of things I might want for my birthday. Or Christmas. And something about that just immediately felt like... I didn't know what a bootleg was back in those days. I didn't learn about bootlegs until about a year later. And, something about that just struck me as so foreign, bootleggy, something that doesn't exist. And I feel like if I played it, I would have felt that certainly.
What is?
Because I was super into
The
Budokai at the
situation
time.
with poor Mikhail. I feel for you, my lady. I will do all in my power to save Mikhail.
What exactly is that, Decadus?
Hey, Mikhail. You're more of a big baby now than ever, huh?
Don't
There is
taunt
no
Mikhail.
need for such cruelty, Dido.
That's
Am I
Tito's
back
thing,
to
though.
being useless?
Not at all. You just need rest.
Blech, you're making me puke over here. Empty sympathy like that just ends up making people feel worse.
I mean, he has a point.
I was freezing to death earlier, but did anyone worry about old Dido? No.
God, Tito became such an unlikable ass later in the game. I thought his antics were great earlier on.
Fascinating. I think I may have been with Lady 2 sometime in the past.
You
I
don't
had
say.
some kind of role with her, like a servant, or perhaps a butler.
Or a disciple, maybe?
Oh, yeah?
Oh, that couldn't
Well,
be.
I suppose you could kind of, sort of, maybe say that.
Where is Lady 2 now?
How on earth would I know? I last saw her in the desert ruins, but... goodness, that was ages upon ages ago.
Why'd you leave her?
You know, every bird has to soar from the cage of iniquity and things.
Is iniquity a word?
I don't
thought it
understand
was
half the
inequity.
crap you say.
It might be a word I'm just not used to hearing.
Goodness, I haven't uttered the name Lady 2 in quite some time.
I can feel it. Yes, feel it.
Not in front of the
now,
kids.
Akka. I've got a headache.
Oh, no, my lady. For once, my thoughts are elsewhere. This time, I have a feeling Mikhail has been cursed.
You think a curse is responsible for his devolution?
Son of a... Then who's the bastard responsible?
Well, let me think. Oh, I don't know. Maybe the intoner we've been trying to kill?
If you're gonna put that in all caps, I expected more yelling.
I'm gonna crush her.
Now, even I take a break from fleshly pursuits from time to time.
I will believe that as soon as
Zero,
Trump
I'm
becomes a good
sorry.
candidate.
I'm really sorry.
Quit apologizing. If you feel bad about it, just get better.
Okay, I want to be better, Zero. Better and stronger. I
And
will
harder
too.
and faster.
I hate being weak like this. I just want to protect you, Zero. I really, really hate this.
Go to sleep.
Go to sleep.
I'm I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
Someone could Photoshop Jeff the Killer's face on Mikhail. That would be lovely.
Time to go.
Very well. We must find Lady 2 as soon as we can.
Zero?
You stay here and rest.
I'm sorry, everyone.
What is there for you to apologize for?
Yeah, it's
You
not
know,
your
now
fault.
that you mention it. Trivia time! Did you know apologies were once known as the false gold of sinners?
Yeah, just shut up, would you?
God, they're all
Come
things
on,
that
Zero, let's get
sound
outta
like
here.
they could be right. Though I suppose that's the point. It's the mark of a good con man. Well, in advertising in general. You have to make shit sound good. Make a negative sound like a positive. I was going to go for an advertising degree, but I elected to try to turn audiovisual editing into a profession because, well, that crap was boring. I was good at it, but it was boring. And if I'm going to try to make a profession out of something, I don't want to be bored with my life, you know? You know, you don't want to be the kind of person that wakes up every day, like, hating their job.
Could be so vile.
Damn it. Where the hell is 2?
Easy, Z. It look like they're just gonna hand her over to us.
It's like a lower
we're just
standard of
gonna have to
for a more
take
fun living.
We can't let her get anywhere near Lady 2. Lady 2 must never be befouled.
No retreat. How will we ever face Lady 2?
Yes!
You're going down!
Something about just attacking an enemy right before
Don't
they
worry about
attack.
positioning. Just fight.
Nice. Like if any of you play
Ladies,
Monster Hunter,
I'm
there's a definite
sensing
feeling
something
there.
From Mikhail.
Crap. Did he keel over already?
No, but he is struggling. I fear he is nervous.
Like, yeah, you're playing Monster Hunter, and like you're, like in my case, I play light bow guns a lot in Generations, and there's a Tigrex chasing me down, and I'm like, yep, I'm fucked. So I just fire a few more attacks because I don't have enough time to really dodge, even though I'm in a depth, so I've always have to dodge. And I fire it off, and he stumbles, and it's just the best feeling.
Zero is. She's terrifying. Stop the demon here and now. Open a path. We're carrying wounded here.
See, if you just hadn't made yourself known, I might have let you live. 61 EXP isn't enough to really go out of my way for. Especially not in RuneScape.
You gonna be okay, Z?
What's that supposed to mean?
Nothing. It's just, I know how you feel about these types of situations.
I'm fine.
Here we go again.
This may not be the wisest course of action.
Relax. I got this.
Please reconsider, my lady. None would think lesser of you.
Enough already. I said I got this. What kind of an idiot do you take me for? Watch and learn, chumps.
I love that that's become a running gag. Well, no. At first I thought it was kind of dumb that they kept bringing it up, but if we're just going to go, like, constantly consoling, like, beyond just Zero saying, oh god, I hate this, everyone's like, yeah, you sure you want to do this? That's funny. That's comedy.
Finally. This is more my stuff. All that jumping around was driving me crazy.
Trolls in Branch C are not fun to fight. Because, wow, I got hit twice and there's half my HP. It's like the gap from low to high rank in Monster Hunter. To keep up with that train of thought, I just really love Monster Hunter. I get it, not everyone's cup of tea. But, certainly it's mine. 4 Ultimate I've put 500 hours into alone. Put a ton of hours into 3 Ultimate. I want to put a lot of hours into Freedom Unite, but I don't have the mental fortitude to play Freedom Unite. I think of all the problems you probably have with Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate or 3 Ultimate, and just exacerbate the fuck out of those in Freedom Unite. I would have loved it if I got into it when I was younger, but the PSP I had when I was younger would not have held up to Freedom Unite. Because I spent like $50 on a cheap PSP from a friend of a friend.
Thanks.
Yes?
I need you to think, okay? Where's 2? What's her weakness? You've got to know something. Come on, chop chop.
Give me a moment, will you? Even someone with a massive brain like me needs time to process things, you know?
You got 2 seconds. After that, I start kicking balls.
You're gonna get Decadence started. Surprised I didn't joke about that. But I bought this really jank PSP for like $50. I got like a charger and everything, a good battery, memory stick, no games, but... And money was kind of hard to come by back then, so I don't know why I actually did. Well, all my friends had PSPs, though they didn't play games on it, they just used it as a music and video player more than anything, a picture holder. It was our way to the internet because none of us had laptops, and my mom was a super helicopter parent and wouldn't let me use the internet for that stuff I used it for with that. She wouldn't even let me watch YouTube. Or beyond YouTube, in fact. The first year I LP'd was totally behind your back. Anyway, but that's not the point. So this thing's like it didn't have like the circle pad, like the pad was broken off, so it was like one of those like super jabby little nub things. And it was busted in a way where it always drifted lazily to the left. Which made I think the only game my friends and I had, like, my friend had a, I'm gonna call him Steve. Well, Steve's been on the channel before, I don't even know why I'm trying to protect his identity. My friend Steven.
You're hallucinating!
He had Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops Plus, which we realized was not the version we wanted later in life, but, whatever. He was always super excited to have it, and once he finally got it, he was like, yeah! And I tried playing it on my PSP, and it was super difficult because of that. So I mostly just use it for internet stuff. And then my other friend, who's also on this channel, but I don't talk to anymore.
Yeah, they're turning into a bunch of fanatics.
A person's belief system can often push them over the brink.
I talked over that entire thing. Just ruined a good portion of this game, I'm sorry.
The savior of all mankind! You! Where's your equipment?
Fear not. Lady 2 is my sword. Lady 2 is my shield. The winds of Lady 2 shall blow like a righteous hurricane.
These guys are fucking weird.
Let's put it lightly.
Of course, who am I to talk? Look at you guys.
You know, just standing on nothing,
Keep your
whatever.
equipment, men! Stay in formation!
Man down! Man down over here!
The moment of judgment is here! Lady 2 sees and knows all!
Starting to learn a little more about these owners.
Wounded soldier here! These foes are quite stubborn.
Anyway, so, yeah, and then my friend who's been on this channel, I do not talk to anymore, he's not my friend.
Always so impulsive. Still, I understand. You must be
He borrowed it for some purpose,
no such thing.
broke it, and didn't tell me for years later. And he did that with a lot of my stuff when I was young, and I have no idea why I put up with him for as long as I did. If you're watching, I know you watched my stuff at some point. If you're watching this, I'm sorry. That's how I feel, but you weren't a good person. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Is that the path to the exit?
I suppose that means Lady 2 was never here at all.
Yet we've heard the soldiers speak of the Cathedral City many
And I'll use my
times.
Vita to play PSP games.
Cathedral City. That must be where one is.
Except Valkyrie Profile, Lenneth, and Crisis Core, which are some of the only games I won a
Then
PSP
let's head
for.
to the Cathedral City.
But if I can emulate them well, I suppose I'll just do that. Unless Square magically decides to put them... Well, no, the Crisis Core is probably going to be remade, and they don't give a shit about Valkyrie Profile. Whatever. Let me get 20,000 G, 10,000 G, and a white base material. Hell yeah. Alright guys, I'm going to see you guys next time.